Guys, I've got some good news on my E30 Touring S54 swap. I found a new car to do it in. I mean the swap, to do it, the swap in. Yeah, it's a car in Germany and I'm in Bulgaria, so it's pretty far away. I found it and haven't seen it in person, but I'm going to be buying it sight unseen. It's broken, doesn't run, doesn't start, but that's fine. Since I'm going to be replacing everything, the engine, the suspension, the brakes, the drivetrain, it doesn't really matter whether it runs or not. All I need it to be is rust free. And of course, with E30s, it's not really possible to find them in completely rust free shape, especially in Germany. But this one seems to be as close as possible to a rust free example. It does have some surface corrosion and whatever, but it's reasonably clean. I'll show you the ad here. Check this out. This is what I'm looking at. This is in Facebook Marketplace in Germany somewhere, close to Frankfurt. So here's the description in German. This is what the car looks like. Obviously, to a normal person, this would just be a heap of old metal, and they'll be like, yeah, for this much money, for 3,000 euros, I can buy much newer cars with much more power and many more convenience features and comfort and whatever. Yeah, and that's true if you're looking for practicality. But for my swap project, this is perfect because the body looks like it's in good shape. It's obviously very neglected. It hasn't been started or driven in 3 years, but it looks fine. And it's low mileage, 160,000 kilometers, which is 100,000 miles. The tailgate, which is usually an issue with these cars, has no rust. The underside of the car has some surface corrosion here and there on the brackets and whatever, but nothing really to speak of. And the guy did send me another like 50-ish pictures, a lot of them under the car, and it looks really clean. And when I say really clean, yeah, it does have some rust, but it's nothing like any of the other cars that I've seen. And when I say it has some rust, it has some surface corrosion, I think. It's not, nothing is rusted through. Like, check this out. Look at how clean that is. So, yeah, and the interior is okay. It's a bit, the bolster here needs to be repaired, but other than that, it looks pretty clean. You see, if you ignore that. The Design Edition sport seats look great. The door panels look fine. Obviously, it's dirty, needs to be cleaned. And I'll find out more when I get it, but overall looks pretty cool. Pretty clean, pretty nice. And looks like it's exactly what I needed for my project. Because it's cheap. I mean, normally design editions go for 6, 7, 8,000 euros. And this one, because it doesn't run, is cheap. So fits my case perfectly. Now, I did consider, because the previous owner says that the issue with the running is something probably small, like a fuel pump or whatever. So I did consider going there in person and driving it back to Bulgaria. That would be a pretty awesome adventure. And, I'd probably get stranded somewhere along the way, and I'd have to bust out the tools and fix it on the side of the road and whatever. Would make for a good video, and would be interesting and fun. But yeah, first off, I have zero time for stuff like that as a family man with 2 kids waiting for me at home. And secondly, the car doesn't have the TÜV inspection in Germany, which means that it cannot actually get temporary plates, and that means it can't be driven. So I sent the transportation company to pick it up. Costs a lot of money, costs 1,000 euros to deliver it here to me in Bulgaria, so that increases the cost of the car significantly. But what can you do? I can't expect to find it locally. There's all over Europe, there aren't very many of these for sale, so I can't really expect to find them locally. So my total cost, I got the price down from 3K to 2.5K. You add 1K for the transportation, so my total cost is 3.5K, which is not bad for a car like that. If it's in the condition that it appears to be in, then that'll be good. I'll be a happy camper. I'll show you guys how it goes when I get it. But yeah, so far I'm excited. Should be a fun project. Guys, the E30 is coming. It's about to be delivered any minute now. I got a phone call from the driver of the tow truck saying that it's about 5 minutes away. So I cleaned up some space for it here. It's my main workspace. Moved away all the other project cars so I could actually park it here, take a look at it, troubleshoot it, debug it. It currently doesn't start, so we'll find out what the issue is. But most importantly, I will get it up on jack stands and I will inspect it for rust. That's the most critical thing. So yeah, can't wait. It's coming. Here it is. It's arriving. Looks like crap. But that's kind of expected. Flat tire. Okay, so I pumped up the tires. Let's see if I can push it into place. The interior, by the way, looks like it does in the pictures. And it smells like an E30. Okay, I can push it. Yeah. Alright. That wasn't too bad. Go back a little. Okay, that should be good enough. Okay. Well, let's see what the engine bay looks like. What hasn't been opened in forever, probably. There we go. Okay. Nasty crap. Man, this looks horrible. And the battery's even connected still. Dude, this needs a wash immediately. That is so nasty. Okay, this is barely connected, but certainly not holding a charge. Okay, let's see if the battery tray is rusted. Yeah. So it looks pretty decent. Wow, that's impressive. I'll find out more when I take out the battery, but it looks all right. So now under the car, I'm gonna lift it up later and take a look, but looks okay. It even has a catalytic converter. Nobody has taken it off. That's great, because those are worth some money. Obviously I can't reuse it for the S54, but I can use the money I get from it to offset the cost of a used E46 M3 catalytic converter that I plan to use for this car, which I haven't found yet. Okay, so the other place where they like to rust a lot is... man, this thing is locked. Okay, let's see if the key thing works. Okay, yeah, it's working beautifully. Cool. So the other place where they like to rust is the tailgate, of course, but this one looks fine, including on the outside. And, most importantly, they like to rust over here. Under these plastic panels, which, I don't know, I'll need some tools to remove that. But the left one should be visible. Oh, look. A first aid kit, I think. But probably not original. It doesn't say BMW on it. Okay, so here is where they like to rust. And yep, there is some rust. Here's the the tool for the original
Style 5 wheels that this car didn't come with. Came from the factory with them, but didn't come to me with them. Okay. That's some surface corrosion. Actually, that's not bad. Wow. This is good. This is good, man. Usually there's holes here. This is pretty good. Nice. Okay. And these are probably the temporary plates that the guy used. Let's see, back in 2018. So he said it's been sitting for 3 years, but it may have been 5 years. Let's see the bottom of the wheel well here. Spare tire tub. That looks nice. Yeah, it's just dirty. Ha! Nice. Okay. So far I'm happy. So far this is looking like a good buy. Okay. I can't open this door. I couldn't get it unlocked from the inside. Let me try again. This one I can open. But here, and man, every time I enter this passenger compartment, it smells like an E30. It's really unique. It smells like an E30 with cloth interior. Are these broken or something? Weird. I don't think they had the double locking thing at BMW when this car was made, which is basically to make it such that it can't be unlocked, or unlocked from the inside even, which was, I think, later used on the E36s. Let's see if it works with the key. Nope. Ah. It's moving a little. I don't want to force it because it might break something. Okay. Well, I'll give it some power and try it with the central locking. Although that by itself might break something. Wait, what happened here? Oh, dude, somebody tried to open this car. Somebody tried to break in. No bueno. That's nasty, because I don't know if this can be fixed. Huh. Well, I'll have to deal with it. Let's check out the sunroof. The seal is terrible, but I don't see any rust. I don't see any rust on this, and they do like to rust. What's this? It's not rust. Okay, good. This door is fine. Fender here looks okay, no rust. This fender needs to be replaced, obviously, because it's been scratched here and dented here. I mean, I don't know, maybe it can be fixed. This can probably be pulled out and smoothed out, and this can probably be fixed to its normal shape. But they're reasonably cheap to replace. New aftermarket ones are cheap for sure, but for about the same price you can get a used original one, and that's probably what I'm going to go with. Well, oh, and the shade, the cover, the trunk cover here seems like it's falling apart. I have one in decent shape from the previous E30 Touring that I had. Oh, and even the end pieces here that are supposed to get hooked on are missing. The entire cover is in completely unusable condition. This netting here doesn't go back in. It's supposed to go back in. Okay. Alright, so this whole thing needs to be replaced. The seats are supposed to fold forward. But let's take a look at the rear seats actually, because I'm just seeing them for the first time after taking out the fender that was here. they look alright. Very dirty, obviously, so they'll need to be washed.
So this is the new E30 Touring Design Edition Daytona Violet car that I'm planning to use with my S54 swap. So far it looks like it's basically in the condition that it was described. It's very dirty and it's been sitting for a long time and it's neglected and so on. But most critically, it doesn't seem to have any rust, or at least on the body. Like, check this out. There's a bunch of the suspension components are rusted and some brackets and whatever, but the body itself looks very clean. I mean, some small rust spots here and there, but not even rust spots. They're just kind of surface rust, and a bunch of the brackets and additional things that are attached to the body have some corrosion, but the body itself is really straight. And so yeah, very happy with that. Very different from the previous one that I bought, that I ended up selling. And yeah, even the door sills, the bottoms of the doors here, everything looks nice. I mean, it looks very dirty, and obviously it doesn't look nice right now, but to someone who is eyeing for rust, it looks really nice. And so yeah, next order of business is going to be to get it running with the existing engine, unless it's some sort of huge issue, and then I won't bother. But if it's something small, I'm going to try to do the usual troubleshooting and see if I can get it running, drive it a little bit as it is, and then proceed with the engine swap project. So keep following my videos, subscribe, and I will show you how the project is going.